Good afternoon. I want to welcome you to our first session for our class Entering the Dharma Stream here at Western Buddhist University. Building on the foundational course, our Foundations of Buddhist Philosophy, this course further refines the practitioner's awareness that the way to freedom lies not in scholarly or academic study of any of these teachings alone, but by engaging practical meditation, mindfulness, and compassionate service to those in need. This is the first part of a 2-year Buddhist formation program for the Buddhist practitioner on the ordination path. Now, at the end of the first 6 months, those candidates who are deemed ready and deemed qualified for simple ordination vows, what might be called junior monastics, will become monks and nuns in the contemplative order of compassion. Thereafter, candidates will be considered every 6 months or so for simple vows. At the conclusion of this second year of the program, all junior monastics are considered for solemn profession as monks or nuns in the order, depending on their interview with the Sangha at that time. And those wishing to further their spiritual paths by pursuing dual ordination can apply for that privilege as well. Now, this first session is going to be to really familiarize you with how the classes for my course are going to be done for the most part. Keep in mind that every professor's course is done handled particularly by that particular professor. So this is for this course alone. Now, each week we're going to be covering a particular segment in the book, Modern Buddhism, by Geshe Kelsang Gyatso. You can find that book in the bookstore section at westernbuddhistuniversity.org, and you can download that. Actually, that book is able to be downloaded for free as a PDF. Now, you're going to be expected to read a chapter every other week and prepare your questions for the following week's discussion session. Now, it's not going to be necessary for you to be online for the live sessions, although we encourage you to do so whenever possible. Live sessions are going to be conducted on Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless you're notified otherwise, beginning with our second session. So that means that there's no live session for this first week, since this is entirely about connecting you with the flow and the feel of the course. Now, live sessions will be conducted using Google Plus Hangouts. So you've got to be logged on to Google Plus on the Google Plus website about 5 minutes before the class begins. And so make sure, if you haven't already done so, that you request to be added to the Western Buddhist University and Monastic 101 circles. And during this course, all coursework is going to be done in the form of essays. So you'll be able to be prepared for what it is that we're going to do. Now, the reason for this is because this course is focused on developing and refining your understanding, your awareness, and your compassion, so that you integrate the Dharma into your every thought. This course will, if you allow it to do so, shape your consciousness and transform your experience. You're going to be required to keep a personal journal, and that journal is going to be your private journal. I want to make sure that you understand that while this is going to be designed so that you can make any personal notes and reflections during your practice and daily experience, nobody else is going to read this journal, not even me. So it's essential that you keep one, but you can feel comfortable putting your most private thoughts in that journal. There'll be a total of 12 essays that are required of you during this course, approximately one every other week for the first two segments. The course is broken up into 3 specific segments. And then during your practicum, the third segment of the course, you're going to be required to create a final project, which will convey through whatever creative means that you want, whether that's a video, whether that's some other form of media, but it's going to be whatever you choose that will explain your daily sadhana and what that's all about. It'll explain to the listener and the viewer what the Dharma means to you. And this final examination of this course, that's your final project. The final exam is going to be to present a 30-minute teaching on webcam, not necessarily live, during which you explain in as formal or informal a way as you wish the essentials of Buddhism, as if you were teaching somebody who never heard of Buddhism before, who was completely unfamiliar with the Dharma. So this might trigger some understandable apprehension, some nervousness, as many of us don't feel comfortable in front of a camera. And even if no one's watching it live, some of us still feel a little bit uncomfortable being in front of a camera. But I assure you that, since the purpose of being ordained as an ordained contemplative is to serve others as a teacher, as a healer, and spiritual friend, I just want you to be comfortable. think about doing this project as if you would any friend somebody who you love dearly, who you want to help stop suffering, somebody that you want to help them improve the quality of their life by introducing them to the timeless wisdom of the Dharma. And so that brings us to your first week's assignment. Read the first 20 pages of Modern Buddhism, and next week we'll begin discussing these in greater depth. We'll begin using the live discussion group on Google Hangouts. So again, make sure that next week at 5 to 10 minutes to 2, you are, that's 2 p.m. Eastern Time, that you're online and logged into Google+, and then you'll be invited in as I create the Hangout. Now I'm going to record that discussion so that those of you who can't be at the live discussion won't be left out. And at the end of your first, at the end of that discussion, I'll remind you again that your first essay that you will write after that discussion, please don't start writing the essay before we have our first live discussion, will be, the topic will be to explain to me in your own words what Buddhism is and how the Buddhist philosophy can have an impact on someone's life. Explain to me in your essay what value there is in Buddhism, and why, if I were somebody who never heard of it, why would I want to even begin to study Buddhism? Now your essay should frame these questions in your own personal experience. Explain to me what Buddhism means to you. Explain to me what value Buddhism has had for you, so that I can relate a little bit better if I were somebody who, never heard of the Dharma before. And the essay itself should provide some foundational ideas for somebody who wants to know about Buddhism, while also demonstrating to me your grasp of the fundamentals of this first chapter. So keep in mind the overall topic in the first chapter, excuse me, and then approach your essay as having two objectives. The first one is to show me that you grasp that material, and the second one is, because you grasp that material, you should be able to explain what Buddhism is and is all about, and what value Buddhism has to the person to whom you're speaking, in order to alleviate suffering. Again, your essay needs to be completed and uploaded in the classroom under the assignments for week 2. We'll go through this again next week, so please don't begin your assignment until you've attended next week's session. Until then, I wish you that every single day of your journey in your life bring with it auspicious opportunities for you and I to grow in awareness, in mindfulness, and in compassion. This is Kempo Guru Das Srinyatananda. Namaste.